Qatar, home to 2 million people, one of the world's most developed countries in recent years. Being such a small nation, but having great ambitions, Qatar is becoming a worldwide example for all of us. For our governments, for our ideals, for our civilization, and everything you've seen so far in Qatar is no match for what will come next. The state of Qatar declared its national vision of 2030, a vision laying the foundations for the future, preparing the country's development up to that year. A vision building for ideals, not for tools. A vision that desires to raise Qatar to a first world nation by culture, education, economy, and social life. His Highness the Emir and his government foresaw the future, starting at the sea, and they named this act, this brave claim for leadership in the region, the first and most integral keystone of their ideal. The new port of Qatar, a child of a great ideal, a grand vision for future generations. This is not an ordinary construction. This is an ideal, creating the future, the seed of what was once a dream, destined to come true.
مرحبا بكم في مشروع الميناء الجديد، والذي يعتبر البوابة لمشاريع قطر المستقبلية، والذي هو مربوط بشبكة سكك حديدية محلية وخليجية، وكذلك شبكة طرق سريعة محلية وخليجية.
The new port of Qatar is located in south of Doha, designed to establish a great hub, a grand gateway between the east and the west.
This port, when it's finished, will open the doors. It will be the gateway to allow the future development of Qatar. So we now have to build this fabulous new facility 24 kilometers away, where we can now bring some of the largest ships in the world. We call them Panamax ships. We can bring those in. The first phase will allow 3 of these ships at once, then 6, then 9. So you can see at the end of the construction, at the end of the development, we will actually be able to deliver everything we need for the vision of Qatar.
This is the story and progress of the new port of Qatar, set by the national vision of His Highness the Emir. The new port of Qatar, dispersed on an area of 26.5 square kilometres, which makes 3,118 Wembley Stadia, a quay wall 8 kilometres long and a port basin 700 metres wide and 17 metres deep. It is a mega project. It's capable of storing 37,500 tonnes of livestock, 500,000 vehicles, 1 million tonnes of bulk grain, 2 million containers per year in the first phase, harbouring the greatest ships on earth and home to the Qatar Navy. One of the key elements of the port is this quay wall. This is where the container ships come alongside, and all the other cargo ships come alongside to unload.
They are made of solid concrete, and we have about 34,000 blocks. It's like a big Lego factory. Imagine when you're building Lego, you take these concrete blocks and you place them all together.
There are going to be 34,000 blocks made of this special concrete to form the walls. Each block weighs 20 to 120 tons, 300 people alone work 24 hours a day to construct these mega blocks. Every stage of building these mega blocks requires specially trained staff to be successfully deployed. All these building blocks are manufactured here inside the port construction area in the 2 batching plants. The mega blocks of the port are manufactured here. A special combination of cement and cement replacements are used with ice to combat the problems caused by the extreme hot weather conditions that we experience in Qatar. Heat in Qatar rises above 50 degrees centigrade, and this cement mustn't dry out quickly. In order to prevent this, they need to pour a special mixture into the cement, which is unique. Then they vibrate the cement in order to get rid of the air left inside the moulds, so that these blocks will not be vulnerable and will have no cracks inside. After each block is completed, they are carefully taken to the storage areas where they need to be stored for some time to get dried and then examined. Even then, hundreds of these blocks may fail the tests of strength required. Only the strongest will survive to take its place on the wall. Since the start of the construction up to the beginning of last year, only 3,058 blocks were placed on the wall. But in 2013 alone, 21,100 pieces of them were laid. So, before the end of this year, the quay wall here will be completed entirely. The port basin is surrounded by the 8-kilometre-long quay wall from both sides. A rock revetment at the northern and southern ends of the port basin will reduce the energy of the waves within the port basin. This port is built inland. That means where you see right now has been excavated. And where we are now is below water level. Of course, as the excavation continues, the undersurface waters are emerging. Therefore, it's essential to discharge the water coming out. A dewatering system has been constructed to allow for the basin to be excavated in the dry. This dewatering system called for the construction of a 10-kilometre-long impermeable cut-off wall which surrounds 450 deep wells that pump water into 12 kilometres of discharge canals to a 200,000 square metre stilling basin. The water is then discharged into the sea at a peak rate of up to 15,000 cubic metres an hour. This wall is big, massive, and most importantly, strong. What we are talking here is 1.3 million cubic metres of C40 concrete, which could rise up as far as 10 Empire State Buildings. This is a massive amount of concrete.
One of the things you have to consider when you're building such a mega project like this is safety. It has to be #1 concern.
The most important slogan here is zero accident. You can see boards all over the field notifying and encouraging all the safety issues. There is nothing more important than life, and those who take part in this future design must return home safely. One of the most important issues here is to train teams, squads, workers and drivers. Here in this port, the traffic is organised as in a city centre. Rules are harsh and monitored. Speed limits are not just warnings, but in case of violation, they face stiff penalties and they must all be respected. This has the top priority of anything on this project here. The number of people responsible to ensure safety is around 100. They are assigned only to take care of the workers. The state of Qatar does not tolerate any violations of these codes of safety, whoever is responsible. Building such a massive construction under the code of the national vision is not that easy, however. The Ministry of Environment dictates a very clear objective. Qatar is going to be an exemplary country with its sensitivity towards environmental issues, and they will not allow any damage to wildlife or risk any pollution. How can it be possible to build such a port without harming them? First of all, imagine you need to relocate all these plants to other locations one by one, metre by metre, acre by acre. The project directors made the impossible possible. Up until now, 10,000 square metres of seagrass, 10,000 corals and 4,000 mangroves were relocated.
When you look at all the things we've been doing on the environment, we've certainly been leading the world.
Qatar National Vision sets forth a development plan, a remarkable one that promises to preserve nature.
طبعا اليوم خلصنا أكثر من 45% من المشروع، وهذا على ماشيين في نفس الجدول اللي حاطينه في السابق، وكذلك ولله الحمد بنفس النوعية المطلوبة، ولله الحمد احنا within the budget اللي هو في حدود القيمة المتاحة لنا.
It could all happen through perfect planning, an exemplary organisation dealing with each possible challenge to get closer to the ultimate goal. This port is getting ready for Qatar, a vision of the future, delivering a message to the whole world.
Behind me, the future of Qatar is rising.
Progress is real progress only when it's surpassing the toughest challenges and becoming successful against all odds.